Hey everyone, all you learning enthusiasts out there who might be feeling super frustrated sometimes. Has this ever happened to you? You spend a ton of time studying, maybe for a tough exam or a topic you really love. Stay up all night, make tons of colorful notes, but the next day when someone asks you about it, it's like, poof, nothing. If that sounds familiar, don't worry at all. You're not alone. It's kind of our brain's default setting. Can you believe research shows we humans forget about 70% of what we learn within just the first 24 hours? It's crazy, right? But this doesn't mean we're lazy or, heaven forbid, not smart enough. Not at all. Our brain is an incredibly complex system designed for survival, not necessarily for remembering math formulas years after an exam. But I've got some good news. Somewhere on the other side of the world, in Japan, students learn thousands and thousands of difficult, complex characters and remember them for years and years. How on earth do they do it? Is it magic? Are their genes different? Maybe you think they study 24/7 and have no fun. But honestly, that's not it at all. Their secret is that they don't study harder. They study much, much smarter. Unfortunately, most of us were never taught how to actually study. We were just told to sit down and read, highlight your books, reread your notes 100 times, or worst of all, cram everything into your brain night before an exam. These things might give you a false sense of accomplishment, but really, it's like trying to fill a leaky bucket with water. You put in a lot of effort, pour in the water, but nothing stays. It all leaks out. Our brain treats this kind of superficial learning like annoying background noise, like an ad you skip without even thinking about it. So, it's not your fault if you forget things quickly. There's something called the forgetting curve, which shows that if our brain isn't treated the right way, it quickly gives up on most information. But don't worry. Today, we're going to bypass this system together. You don't need to spend more hours buried in books. You just need better tools. So get ready to learn 5 fantastic techniques that Japanese students use to remember everything easily and for a lifetime. These methods are super simple, practical, and I promise anyone can use them. Technique number 1, be your brain's detective, active recall. All right, let's dive into the first secret. It's called active recall. What do most of us do when we want to learn something? We sit down and read a book or watch an educational video. We think the information just goes into our brain and that's it. But real learning doesn't start that way. Deep learning happens when you try to pull information out of your brain. What does that mean? It means trying to remember something without looking at your book or notes. Imagine you're going to the gym. When you lift weights, what happens? Your muscles get stronger, right? Active recall does exactly the same thing to your brain. Every time you try to force something out from the depths of your mind, it's like you're lifting a heavy weight for your brain, and your brain gets stronger and stronger. How do we do it? It's super simple. Close your book or notebook. Take a blank piece of paper and start writing down everything you remember about that topic. All the details, formulas, important points, everything. Just one rule. No peeking. I know it might be really hard at first. You might feel like your brain is empty. But it's precisely the struggle, this pressure you put on your brain, that's where real learning is happening. Others might be passively rereading and forgetting everything next day, but you're actively training your brain how to hold on to information tightly. So from now on, instead of just being a reader, be your brain's detective and try to find the clues within your own mind. Technique number 2, be the steady turtle, not the hopping hare. Kumon Method. The second awesome technique the Japanese use is the Kumon Method. This method is used in many schools across Japan. Think of learning like building a very tall tower with Legos. You don't just dump all the Legos on top of each other and expect a tower to appear. Do you? You place each Lego carefully, one by one, in its right spot. The Kumon Method is exactly the same. Instead of suddenly cramming a ton of information into your brain and getting confused, you learn a little bit every day. For example, just 15 to 30 minutes a day. You might say that's not much at all. But wait, these little bits, when they add up, turn into an incredible power. James Clear, the author of the famous book Atomic Habits, says something really beautiful. He says if you get just 1% better every day, after a year you'll be 37 times better. See? Kumon says the same thing. It doesn't matter how much you do. What matters is that every day, even if it's just a little, you do that little bit excellently. So instead of pushing yourself hard one day and then giving up for several days, be like the turtle. Slow and steady, take a small step every day. Trust me, you'll reach your destination and enjoy the journey, Paljon 2. Technique number 3. Gardening your memories. Spaced repetition. Our third secret is spaced repetition. This one is a masterpiece. Imagine you have a beautiful pot and you want to plant a lovely flower in it. Would you suddenly pour a whole bucket of water on it and then leave it for another month? Of course not. The poor flower would either drown or dry up. You need to water it as much as it needs every now and then. Our memory is exactly like this flower pot. Instead of reading something once, putting it aside and saying, okay, I've learned it, you need to revisit it right before your brain decides to throw that information away. For example, you learn something today, and tomorrow you do a quick review. Then 3 days later, you take another look at it. Then a week later, you keep increasing the intervals like this. Every time you do this, the roots of that memory in your brain get stronger and deeper. This is how Japanese students don't have to kill themselves cramming the night before an exam. They spread out their learning over time, as if they're patiently taking care of their memory garden. And the result is that the information gets etched into their minds forever. Technique number 4. The champion of millimeter progress. Kaizen. Our fourth technique is based on a very powerful Japanese idea called Kaizen. Kaizen means change for the better. Or if we want to say it more casually, it means getting a little better every day. Japanese kids don't try to become Einstein overnight. They focus on very small but consistent and continuous improvements. You don't need to suffocate yourself with hours of studying. Just a few minutes of quality focus is enough. Can you believe that with just 6 minutes a day, you can become much smarter over time? Try this 2 minutes of active recall, the one where you pull information from your brain. Then 2 minutes of spaced repetition, reviewing things you've already studied. And finally, 2 minutes of focus practice on a small part of your lesson. That's it, just 6 minutes. Do this every day, and I promise you'll be amazed at your progress after a month. So instead of waiting for a big miracle, be the champion of your own millimeter progress. Technique number 5. The temple of silence and focus. Shu-chu. And now we come to the final secret, which is called shu-chu, meaning deep focus. This one is the ultimate clincher. In Japan, students really train themselves for deep focus. How? With a series of small, ritualistic actions. For example, before they start studying, they light a candle, or they always sit at a specific desk, or they even use a particular pen for studying. These small actions act like an alarm bell for their brain, telling it, "Hey brain, it's learning time now. Pay attention." You can do the same thing. Find a quiet and cozy place for yourself. Put your phone on silent or even turn it off. Get rid of anything that distracts you. Then do a small, specific thing that helps your brain switch into study mode. For example, you could listen to some very calm instrumental music, or make yourself a cup of tea or coffee. When you focus completely on what you're doing, your brain absorbs information much faster and holds onto it for a much longer time. It's as if you've built a temple of silence and focus for your learning. Well, folks, those were the 5 awesome secrets from Japan for better learning. See how simple they were? Now you don't have to run away from studying or think your memory is weak. With these scientific and practical methods, you can study much smarter, not necessarily harder and longer. You don't have to start all of them today either. Pick one that you like the most and try it out right now. You might be surprised at how much easier and even more enjoyable studying can become. Remember, even the smallest steps can lead you towards very big changes. That top 1% of successful learners aren't necessarily smarter than others. They just have a different method of learning. Now it's your turn to make these methods your own. If this video was helpful for you and you'd like me to share more learning secrets like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and tell me in the comments which of these techniques you're going to try first. I'm looking forward to hearing about your experiences. Until the next video, be successful and victorious.